What a start to Elbaf. I guess you can unofficially say that we've started Elbaf. Kind of, a typical One Piece start. Mystery, intrigue at the beginning, then we got to figure it out. So I'm here for it. Overall, this chapter, I would say less peak in comparison to last chapter, because we got the Gorosei getting killed and one getting replaced, Garling. This chapter, I think equally as good for different reasons, but I think this chapter captured a different part of my heart. This chapter is a One Piece chapter. Not saying last chapter wasn't, obviously, but now, cover story, let's just get to it. Cover story, Yamato. We find out that missing girls, apparently it's like a pandemic, right? Missing girls are just happening. And so Yamato, as a part of her pilgrimage, she obviously is going to have to figure it out. Cool, right? We saw someone that was trying to kidnap people or girls in a previous cover story installment. Yamato's detective time. Bro, this cover story is going to last a while. Okay, just buckle in. It's fine. It's cool. It's going to tie in some way. Just got to give it time. Chapter begins and you got to enjoy just the Straw Hats frolicking with the Giants. They have a relationship that's been from the beginning all the way back to Little Garden. And so you enjoy them just catching up, saying what's happened, things that they've been through. And so just them having an insane festival and just enjoying each other. This is something that you would expect, because even for Oimo and Kashi, they said, yo, after you guys went to Water 7 and went to Little Garden to try to get him, they got him to come back. And for the most part, you're like, oh, well, you guys made up, you're cool. They're like, no, we just got to go get some new weapons. And so this is just giving us just a taste of the culture of Elbaf. We had an idea of how it was there with Shanks, and when Kid pulled up, they're like excited it's about to be war. War. Because even this chapter, some kid shots happen. I was like, what? Why does Kid keep getting strays? Oh, do you hate the character? What? But this is giving us more insight on the culture where they can try to fight to the death and still be best of friends. That's just what they do. And so enjoy the celebration. Luffy with big meat. Big meat, whatever. He's running around with big meat in his mouth. Okay, that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing, because it's Elbaf. Anyway, you really enjoy that moment, just considering the celebration in Elbaf, all the parties and festivals is going to be top tier. Kuma's still alive. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Kuma died at least 5 different times, but he is still alive and kicking. He's smiling. And him and Bonney, they enjoy, and they have a moment where they get to reach the horizon together. I'm never going to get mad about Kuma and Bonney having a moment, considering everything we found out about them, everything we learned, because the story, those two were just, I can't get enough. Just a moment that I really enjoyed. We'll come back to the Straw Hats and the Giants and everything that transpired there. Let's shift gears for a second and go away from the ship. Now, we jump to we jump to Gartel Island. And Gartel is the island that Bartolomeo pulled up and decided to burn Shanks' flag. Listen, Barto is a fanatic, okay? A true fanatic. This chapter it accentuated that, because, bro, what? So Shanks pulled up on him, right? Pull up on him, barrier does not matter. Shanks and his Karemi and their Yonko crew pull up on him and is like, yo, we have to do this, because if we don't, the people that believe in us are going to lose faith in us. And so this is something we have to do. And he's like, my bad. My bad. Okay, I don't know what to tell you, my bad. It's not the purpose of the statement necessarily, but I think it reinforces or reminds us just how important the Yonko are, saying, hey, there are tons of islands and people that depend on us, right? Many crews. And so this flag means something to me. This flag means something to us. And so if you just go around burning flags and we don't do anything about it, it loses its impact. The flag hangs. So you are an example of what we must uphold. So it's telling us that, but it's like a reminder, yo, the Yonko, that position, right, could go in contrast with what Zoro's talking about with Luffy. It's very important, and we have to uphold it, because that means something, not only to us, but to everybody that depends on our flag for protection, for everything. And so I enjoyed that just being slipped in there, because I think at times we just kind of throw the Yonko position into a strength thing. I'm just like, bro, it's so much more than that. And I think this is giving us just alluding to, hey, there are more responsibilities. And again, it could be just a real aside in contrast to Luffy and what Zoro felt like Luffy should do. We've talked about that ad nauseum. So it is what it is, but I thought that was cool. Hongo, right? He then pulls up on Barto with a deadly poison, and he says, yo, make sure Straw Hat Luffy drinks this in a month. And this was a month prior, apparently. So make sure they drink this in a month. He drinks this in a month. And Barto. I mean, if she don't love me like Barto, I don't want it. I'm just gonna be honest. If she don't love me like Bartolomeo loves Luffy, I don't want it. Barto immediately takes it to the head and swallows it whole. Like he just drink. All right, that sounded a little crazy, but he swallows all of it. He drinks all the poison. He drinks all the poison, right? Because he's just showing his loyalty to Luffy. Like, I'd rather drink the poison myself than to bring this to Luffy's doorstep because this is my decision. He didn't tell me to do this. So yes, give me the poison. I'm going to drink it. This is me. This is what I do. And okay. Initially, I'm like, whoa. I did not want to believe in the Shanks being the rat captain. I didn't want to believe in any of that. That, you know, it shook my faith a little bit. But then after it was like, okay, I get it. He was just a little test, little jokey joke game thing. That's all it was. Barto then jinxed the hell out of himself because after he was like, I thought pirates were meant to be ruthless. Like he was actually pretty nice. He was softer than I expected, which I mean, for Barto, you couldn't let him off like that. You couldn't let him off because then he's like, well, if Shanks is just like that, I'm just going to do it again. Well, no, you won't because your ship is gone because Usopp is like, boss, do you mind moving aside a little bit? Yeah, that's cool. That's cute. But we can't let him get off with bam, destroy the whole ship in one shot. I'm like, what the hell is going on with Usopp? One thing Oda is going to do, he is going to glaze the hell out of Shanks, glaze the hell out of Red Hair Pirates because he loves these guys. One shot blew up the entire ship. So you're telling me they did not need Dory and Brogy to get rid of Kid and the Kid Pirates. I know people are saying I'm on an anti-giant run. I am. I really am. One day I'll talk to you guys about how I feel about the Giants. But either way, one shot blew up the ship. And it's like, and then with this, Bartolomeo. And Bartolomeo, I forgot, but Bartolomeo has a ship with Luffy on the front of it. I'm like, this is insanity how much he loves Luffy. He's in love. What else? What? This is past just admiration. You love him. Huh? What Oda also does as well, is like even in the midst of Shanks being an asshole or just being a pirate, Oda gives us small moments to show us that Shanks' true personality is always within him. So that smile, that smirk, where he's thinking of, bro, he's so dedicated to Luffy, you can't help but just think, okay, he's still Shanks. And it goes back, and we're going to talk about somebody still being themselves, even in the midst of things further in the chapter. But I just like when Oda gives those moments. It humanizes him, it reminds us. And those reminders, I think, are necessary because people just run with things like, saying he's a rat captain. It's just like he is bitter, all these different things. He's running from Blackbeard, may have some credence to that. But anyway, love the Red Hair Pirates. Barto, he brought that on himself. I don't feel bad for him. Barto's still alive though. He'll be back. He'll be back with a different Luffy ship. I guarantee it. Now my thing though is, does Luffy spin back? Does Luffy go back to Shanks like, yo, you hurt my subordinate regardless of what he did. You knew he was under my flag, so you should have handled him with more care, which Shanks definitely did. Handled him with kid gloves. He had to just teach him a little lesson. But still, I don't know if Luffy comes back and is like, yo, you hurt Barto. But I doubt it ever gets to that. Just funny to think about. Now, shift gears again. Let's go to Hachinosu. A lot of things just went down in Hachinosu. So let's see the aftermath, which I think this was so One Piece. In my opinion, just so much One Piece shit in this specific instance. I loved it. Now, Blackbeard pulls up like, yo, how the hell did you let this happen, Pizarro? Which is interesting that he's blaming Pizarro and he's not blaming Kuzan. It's very interesting. Like, does he view Pizarro because he's the island? Is like, yo, how did you let them go? Like, you're literally the island, bro. How could they escape when you're literally the island? That's literally your job. And so maybe that's why he's holding him accountable like this. But it was like, I thought Kuzan would get chewed out, but I digress. Blackbeard says some very important things here where he talks about the poneglyphs and saying, yo, the poneglyphs are known by everyone now. Like, we the Yonko, we're gonna have to fight and kill each other, tear each other to pieces to get them, right? So it's not like these were obscure things that everybody that was just sailing and got to a certain point in the world, they knew about them. No, now everybody knows they exist. Now it's time, right? The government, where he talks about, the government have shown their hand a little bit saying, yo, we should go after it. Even the revolutionaries, they're talking about a One Piece. It's like, yo, it's more candidates now in Blackbeard's mind because more people are aware and things just got a bit interesting. And for him, of course, a Blackbeard, he doesn't really mind it, but like he had Kobe that was their ace in the hole. We know what Blackbeard wants. And so he's pissed that Avila Pizarro let Kobe get away, which really and truly was Kuzan. Something that was confirmed that we talked about before was Moria escaping and going and becoming and joining Cross Guild because it just makes a lot of sense. He's with Perona. Perona is a liaison between Mihawk and Moria. Moria joins him. Moria is a former warlord as well. Moria is a former warlord as well. So in that case, he fits perfectly. I'm not sure if an Impel Down Part 2 arc is coming, something to break out Don Quixote, Doflamingo, and Weevil because they both should be in Impel Down. And then we have an entire crew comprised of former warlords. I don't know if Boa would be a part of that because Boa, she's not on her own, but it's like she has an entire island to protect. Does she affiliate herself with the Cross Guild? Because then if anything happens to her island, the Cross Guild, they would then mobilize. Who knows? Whereas be similar to like what she did for the world government. Like, I'll work with you guys because you provide me protection. We'll see. But an entire crew comprised of former warlords, I think I'm here for it. I mean, let's be, I'm here for it. The moment that I really enjoyed in this chapter is like when San Wolf is putting back a shop and he's like, yo, where does it go? Right? Whilst hurting like another shop or destroying another building. And it's just like, bro, this is so crazy. We have giants just walking around with actual buildings. Like, yo, where was this again? Was it the bodega? Where was it? I just really enjoy that. That was really cool to me. Again, this is showing the fealty of the Blackbeard pirates, or just the fodder, to just what they're willing to do for Blackbeard. For Blackbeard, he's loving it. He's like, yo, they're fired up. And, it's the morale is up based on things that happen because of what they accomplished. Blackbeard's approach to Kuzan is completely different than the approach to Pizarro, because he's like, ha, Kobe got away, Kuzan, but what? And he's like, well, we caught Garp, right? And then he's like, that's a consolation prize right there. So it's just, it's Kuzan. You can't approach him the same way you approach like your other guys. Like, this is the guy. And so I did enjoy that. There's a difference there, right? Pizarro as well, just the different ways he incorporates like his kitty cat-like speech, like hear me out. I don't know. That made me laugh. I was like, yo, why is this so funny? Now, something that people were kind of fired up for when I was doing the reaction was when Kuzan said, to be honest, I was going for the kill, but he survived. And I was like, and people was like, oh, that's Cope. You did this, Cope. I'm like, bro, do we have to go through this again? We went through this with Kizaru, where it's like, it's clear that things are happening. With Kuzan, I mentioned that somebody's still being them. In this instance, Kuzan, I always default. When I start to waver, I default back to what he told Smoker. Smoker, I'm still me. No matter what, I'm still me. So for Kuzan, the person that he is, the person that speared Robin several times, the person that speared Luffy several times, he's somebody that has a heart, that cares. This is his mentor. Yes, he's going to tell Blackbeard, yes, I tried to kill him though. What else is he going to tell him? However, we know the case. People can use this as a power scaling statement. I think this is more of a character moment and showing the nuances of Kuzan's character and what he actually is trying to do and what he's doing. Give more gray. I think that's the purpose of it. Then to say, oh my gosh, that means Garp is stronger than all the Blackbeard. I don't think that's the meaning of this at all, right? Where it's like, it's interesting. People are going to use this for power scaling and kind of go back at you and say, yo, you're coping for power scaling, bro. To me, this has nothing to do with power scaling. This is him saying, oh, Blackbeard, to be honest, I was trying to go for the kill. No, I don't believe that for 1 second. For 1 second at all. Cap. I can't lie. The aura that Garp has is exceptional. Here's the thing. Whether you think Garp is stronger than Kuzan or Kuzan is stronger than Garp, that is so irrelevant here. Garp is fantastic. Kuzan's fantastic. It doesn't matter. But Garp, man, it hurts my heart, bro. It hurts my heart that OG, he's just there, stuck in the pit of the Blackbeard pirates. I don't think there's any worse. Maybe Kaido. He feed you smile foods and shit. Blackbeard, man, and Blackbeard's like, yo, okay. And you have Bird just like, yo, the winds of fortune are favoring us. Bro, it's been that way for a while. The wind's been blowing y'all way for a minute, my guy. But Blackbeard also says, yo, and I also snagged this three-eyed girl, right? So it's so many things happening and falling in line for Blackbeard. Bro, how do we not see him as the final antagonist? I can't even fathom it. We haven't seen Lafitte in a while. And of course, Blackbeard, hey, he's like, let's go to Lafitte. What's been going on? And he's at UMIT, like the Navy UMIT shipping HQ. UMIT, by the way, is one of the underworld emperors that was invited to Big Mom's Tea Party. Also, he's somebody that Vegapunk referenced and said he used UMIT's instruction or UMIT shipping for the construction of Egghead. So UMIT is a very big deal. And Lafitte being here is very interesting because it's just like, what are you guys now up to? But now Blackbeard asks Lafitte, what are the revolutionaries up to? And Lafitte has a pulse on everything that's going on. I'm like, yo, the revolutionaries? But Lafitte basically breaks down the siege that they did. It's really affecting the Celestial Dragons, sabotaging the gondolas. That food has become very difficult for them to access and even transport to Mary Joa. And so he's saying this is unprecedented. He's never seen anything like this. They might actually starve based on how things are going right now. And so it's like, it's put the Celestial Dragons, Mary Joa in general, in a very precarious situation, predicament, if you might say. And Blackbeard, of course, it's almost like, you know, in fantasy football when somebody sustained an injury. I'm like, all right, I'm going to offer you the backup or the handcuff, right? You're in dire need of it. And so I'm going to provide a solution. Most people didn't even get what the hell I'm talking about. But I'm saying the world government, they have a need. What if I can provide what you need? I don't know if you use San Juan Wolf as a way to transport things. Who knows? Either way, you're finding different flaws in the world government when for a long time they went and they were flawless on the surface. Now we're seeing what it is. And it's interesting from the underworld. You can see the dark underbelly and you can see them for what they really are. Either way, though, Blackbeard is ready to make another move. And we have Katarina and Van Auger pulling up with our boy. I don't know. I don't know if he's our boy. Caribou. And he's terrified of course, Avila Pizarro. He's like, yo, what is going on? Like, I don't know. He's already calling Van Auger and Katarina Big Bro and Big Sis. He's such a sleaze slime ball. Like, I mean, he's slimy. He's a swamp fruit. But either way, things are rapidly getting put in place, in motion, whatever, for the Blackbeard Pirates. We then go back to the Straw Hat crew, and well, half the Straw Hat crew is missing. Funny enough, the people that are missing are the OG crew plus Chopper. So all the stragglers are left behind. So you have Robin, Frankie, Jimmy, Brooke, like those people are left behind. And it's one of those situations where it's like, what is Oda's plan for these guys? And then we go a little further and Nami seems to be kidnapped. What I noticed as well, Nami's hair is different. Her clothes are different. So whomever kidnapped Nami, they changed her, they braided her hair, and when you look at the ground of what Nami's on, it looks like Legos. So it looks like she's in a toy room. So more than likely, she was kidnapped by a giant because these fools fell asleep. Not sure if it's for 2 days, but they were drinking some green fairy, right? And they fell asleep for a while or passed out for a while. And of course, people got kidnapped. I'm sure more happened than that because this is One Piece. So there's much more that happened. Personally, I think Zoro woke up first because Zoro, that's what he does. He drinks. But it's here. Like, it started. They're separated. You know, the stars just got separated. That's just how the arc goes. That's how it begins. Like, remember Luffy just running off? This time it's like they just pass out. Now we're like, what the hell happened? Bonnie just being a part of the crew, and she being in her smaller form, she can be a kid, like her kind of tugging on Jinbei. It's just like cool small things that I think makes this chapter feel like a One Piece chapter. Where it's like, this feels like One Piece. This is what I love this. And again, no break next week, bro. No break next week, so we up. It's up. So yeah. Woo! Give me your thoughts, guys. One Piece chapter 1126. How do you feel about it? Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, because we're going to keep it coming. That's just what we do. Like the video, subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.